In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to find Workspace ID on Slack. By the end, you'll know exactly where to look in your browser and how to confidently identify the correct ID without getting it mixed up with channel codes or anything else. First, open Slack in your web browser and sign into the workspace you want to check. You can start from any channel or direct message. The exact page you land on doesn't matter. What matters is the address bar in your browser. Slack's web app uses a consistent URL pattern that makes the Workspace ID easy to spot once you know what to look for. At the top of your browser, you'll see a URL that looks like app.slack.com/client, followed by two parts separated by slashes. The first part after client is the Workspace ID. It's a short alphanumeric code, often starting with a letter, and it uniquely identifies your workspace. The second part is the channel or conversation ID you're currently viewing. To make this completely clear, let's click around a few channels and watch how the URL behaves. Go ahead and click into a channel like AllTest. Keep your eyes on the address bar as the page loads. You'll notice that the second part of the URL changes to match the channel you just opened, but the first part after client stays exactly the same. That first unchanging segment is your Workspace ID. Now click into another channel, for example, New Channel. Again, observe the address bar. The trailing part of the URL updates to reflect the new channel, but that initial segment right after client doesn't budge. That's the constant you're looking for. It's the identifier that ties all of your channels, messages, and conversations together under one workspace. Let's try it again with another channel. Say social. As soon as you switch channels, only the channel portion changes. The Workspace ID remains fixed. This is a great way to double check you're looking at the right thing. If it doesn't change when you move between channels, you've found the Workspace ID. One more time, open a different channel, such as Huddles. Watch the same pattern repeat. The channel identifier updates, but the Workspace ID stays put. That unchanging string in the URL after client is exactly what you need. If you ever have to share your Workspace ID for integrations, automation, or troubleshooting, you can carefully select and copy just that portion from the address bar. Be sure you're not copying the whole URL, only the first identifier after client, not the channel part that comes after it. Now, let's talk briefly about what you're seeing. In Slack's web URLs, there are two important identifiers. The Workspace ID is the first segment after client. Think of it as the umbrella that covers your entire Slack environment. The channel or conversation ID is the second segment and will vary every time you move to a different place in Slack. Public channel IDs often start with a C, private channels may start with a G, and direct messages differ as well. Those are useful clues, but the reliable trick is to focus on which part of the URL changes and which part does not. The unchanging segment is the Workspace ID. A quick tip to avoid confusion. Your workspace might also have a friendly domain, like a custom team name in Slack, but that's not the same thing as the Workspace ID. The ID is the compact alphanumeric string in the URL structure we just reviewed. If you ever switch to another workspace in your browser, you'll notice that this first segment changes to a completely different value, confirming it's specific to each workspace. That's it. Open Slack in your browser, click through a few channels, and identify the one part of the URL that never changes. That constant segment after client is your Workspace ID. Once you've found it, copy it carefully, and you're ready to use it wherever it's needed.